Today is Sunday, and usually on weekends, not always, but normally we have a little bit more time. So I decided today we're gonna make minestrone. It's kind of a long shot. I realized that most kids don't particularly like soupy things, and also not all kids really like vegetables. But we're gonna use a couple of tricks to improve the odds of your child liking this. It's also very healthy. It's going to take a little longer, but most of it is the cooking part. The preparation is relatively short. So while it's cooking, you can do all sorts of other things. So as we always do, let's take a look at what we need first. So as you can see, we have some pasta. We have cheese. If you can get some cheese that melts, that's the idea. I got some mozzarella cheese. I also have some Parmesan cheese to add at the end. Some canned tomatoes. I have the diced kind. I have a pot. We're going to cook the whole thing in it. There's also going to be a pan that I forgot to put on the table. Cutting board, sharp knife, bacon. That's one of our tricks. Olive oil, chicken stock if you have it. If you don't, we can easily use bouillon. It works just fine. Red pepper flakes. I have a couple of leftover veggies that I got from the fridge. I have green pepper and the cucumber, and most supermarkets also have this pre-packaged minestrone combo with like carrots and turnips and some herbs, and that can be very useful. I think I paid $3.99 for it. I set aside the things that we don't need now, we're going to use later, which is most of them. And all I have here is the vegetables, the bacon, and one of those containers recycled from, this was a cookie container recycled from the store. So the very first thing I'm going to do is cut a little bit of bacon in small pieces or dices. Let me read to you what's in this package that I showed you earlier. There are carrots, celery, onions, parsnip, parsley, and turnips, and leek. So I start with just cleaning up the veggies. I'm going to peel the carrot. I'm going to slice the onion, just, to make it some small pieces. And I'm going to use the container to put the veggies in, so I can wash them all together and then put them in the pot when it's time. Okay, I've chopped up the veggies, except for the onions that you don't need to wash, and the pepper, because the pepper has the little seeds, so I'm going to wash it separately. But as you can see, I cut everything in pretty big chunks. And this is one of the things that I like about minestrone. It's not a precise recipe. It's a kind of do what you want kind of recipe. I'm just going to go and wash this, as well as the green pepper, and I'll be right back. I washed the veggies, including the red pepper, which I then chopped up as well, mixed everything together. One thing that I didn't mention earlier, because I only have one, but potatoes work really well in minestrone as well. So if you have potatoes, definitely use them. We're going to add it to everything when the time is right. So on the stove, I have a pot that I filled with about 1/3 of water. Don't put too much water, because you have to remember we also have to add the tomato sauce into it. And also have a pan. I'm going to start by putting some olive oil. We want to bring the water to boil and heat up the olive oil. I'm also adding the bacon and combine it with onion, and we're just going to let the olive oil, the onion, and the bacon cook together for just a few minutes, and that's going to give us a bit of flavor. So the bacon is one of our little tricks. The bacon, the onion, and the oil have had the chance to cook together for about 3 minutes, and what I'm going to do now is I'll dump all the veggies in the pan all at once. Remember, this is a do what you want kind of recipe. I forgot to chop up the carrot. Sorry, now everything is cut up properly. So I'm just going there, and I'm going to let him cook until the water boils, and then we will transfer everything. The water is kind of boiling. In the meantime, the veggies are also on the stove, but they contain so much water that the risk of them burning is pretty slim. Having that said, I just stir it from time to time. Anyway, the water is basically boiling, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to add some chicken stock, if you have it. If you don't, that's fine. And just a little bit. And I'm also adding some bouillon cubes. I have chicken, but you know, you can put vegetable cubes if you want to have beef cubes. They don't even need to be cubes. I'm adding some salt. The canned tomatoes. And finally, all the veggies. Last but not least, some red pepper flakes for additional flavor. And that is kind of it. All you need to do now is let it cook, simmer, as they say, for about half an hour, 45 minutes. You don't need to do anything. You can cover it, partly cover it, and we'll be back in a little while. Over the past 45 minutes, the minestrone has been cooking by itself on the stove. I forgot all about it, so I went along and did what I had to do. So now it's time for our two little twists. I'm going to add pasta and cheese of whichever kind. Now, almost no kid will complain about a pasta with cheese. So one way to present this is, in case you find resistance on the part of your kid, is that this is just pasta with cheese with an addition of a special sauce, which is a minestrone, and hopefully they're going to like it more. The box says it takes 8 to 9 minutes to cook the pasta, and that's all the time we need. The pasta is done and the minestrone is ready. So all we need to do is just use our ladle, transfer into a bowl. By the way, the kind of pasta is totally irrelevant. I only suggest that you use the short kind as opposed to the spaghetti linguine because it works better. Feel free to add some cheese and we're ready. Very healthy, very tasty.